All right. Okay. I think we are live. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome to episode 3 of the PAWCAST. The PAWCAST is a podcast that will be live streamed here on YouTube every single Friday at 1:30 p.m. PDT. And then we will have our episodes up on Spotify shortly after as well. Welcome in. If you guys are a part of the live experience, hello Eternal, hello Sydney. If you guys are watching this once it is a VOD on YouTube, or if you guys are listening to this once it is on Spotify, welcome. Thank you for hopping in here. Welcome, welcome. How is your day? Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. It's good to see you guys. Happy Friday. Do you guys got any plans for the weekend? The weekend? I said the weekend. You guys got plans for the weekend? Yeah. Yeah, man. You guys got plans for the weekend? Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, yo. Do you guys have any plans for the weekend? Indeed. Alrighty. Hopefully everybody's doing good, man. Hopefully everybody is in good health. Yo. Welcome in, man. This is episode 3. Week 3's episode 3 is Console Recollection. So we are going to be talking about my own personal experiences with gaming on console and basically growing up around console gaming. And then we are also going to talk about some amazing stories that you guys, some of the members of the Galactic Wolfpack, have shared with me to share on this episode of the podcast. And thank you guys very much for letting me know some of the stories that you guys have, some of the most memorable times from gaming on a console with your family or your friends, or just a really cool moment in game or anything like that. Thank you very much for sharing those moments with me. We are going to get into those, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. But welcome in. How we doing? It's good to see you guys. Hello, man. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. It's very good to see you guys. Car Guy, thank you for joining us as well. You guys are right on time. Sydney said right on time. Eternal said exactly on time. Was it exactly on time? Like right as the timer hit 0? That's when it... Oh, golly. That's some good timing. That's some good timing right there. Hey, yo. But yeah, so we are going to get into this, man. Episode 3 is Console Recollection, man. If you guys know me, you guys know that I started on a console, man. I started gaming on a console. I met... I want to say probably... I want to say I probably met 70%. Maybe 60%. Maybe 60% of the people I know today and the friends I have today. So console has been cemented in my life. Okay, I've been on console for a very long time, and we're gonna talk about some really interesting stuff. Thank you very much for the questions, by the way, man. Thank you guys very much for the questions as well. I appreciate your guys' questions. Thank you very much for asking me some questions. So we are going to get into that. This is going to be fun. Man. Alrighty. No worries at all, Car Guy. I hope the phone replacement goes well. I hope that goes well, man. You said 8 seconds early, Eternal, but still 8 seconds early. I'll take it, man. I will take it. You want to know what? We're not only on time, but we are early. We're not only on time, but we are early. 8 seconds early. Come on now. That's got to count for something, right? You know what I mean? I clocked in, bam, 8 seconds early. Now imagine. All right. We're going to get into this, man. So welcome in. If you guys are brand new here, if you guys are watching this once it is a VOD, or if you guys are discovering this on Spotify for the very first time, if you guys don't know me, my name is Oborrok. I am known as the White Wolf. My community is known as the Galactic Wolfpack. Everything we do over the course of creating this community, or over the course of these last 5 years, and just me as a person, everything we do is about positivity. There's no judgment. Everyone is welcome. Everyone has a voice. Everyone is I want to make sure everybody feels like they're heard and they're loved, because you are. Every single one of you guys is loved. You guys need to be heard. I want to hear from you guys. You know what I mean? And this is a safe space. You know what I mean? So We're going to get into this, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. But yes, welcome in. Again, if you guys are brand new here, my name is Oborrok. My community is known as the Galactic Wolfpack. Thank you for taking some time to join us. If you are listening to this on Spotify, or if you are watching this once it is a VOD, or you are watching this live with the rest of the Wolfpack, welcome. Hello. Hello, hello. Hopefully all of our audio and visuals are good. Visuals on YouTube, audio on Spotify. Hopefully we are all good to go. Hopefully the music in the background is, you know, it's there a little bit. Music's there and you guys can hear me well. Everything is good. Now, welcome in, man. Welcome in. Hopefully everyone's having a great Friday. Do you guys got any plans for the weekend? If you guys do have any plans for the weekend, man, if you're watching this or listening to this on Spotify, you can leave those down in the Q&A section on Spotify, or once this is a VOD on YouTube, you can leave it in the comment section, or if you are a part of the live experience, you can leave them in the live chat now. Yeah, do you guys got any plans for the weekend? Thank you very much for the live reactions too. Thank you so much for those hearts on the stream. And if you guys have not already done so, please drop a like, a heart on Spotify, or a like on YouTube. It does help out massively and I greatly appreciate it as well. Everyone that has already done so, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate the likes on the stream so far. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, okay. So if you guys are wondering any other socials that we do, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a TikTok. I am a full-time content creator. If you guys would like to see any of the little funny skits or the breakdowns, tutorials, guides, walkthroughs, anything that we do, those are all between the YouTube, the Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. We have all of those. But also, if you guys are wondering why we are streaming it's so ingrained in my brain now. If you guys are wondering why we are streaming a PAWCAST, so ingrained in my brain, podcast. If you're wondering why we are streaming a podcast, okay, that is known as the PAWCAST, it is because I have absolutely, from the very beginning, always loved the experience of being live. Having the experience of being live and being with the community, having you guys with me in the moment. So that is why we are live. But we are also live 3 other days, okay? So if you guys would like to check those out, if you haven't already done so, if you would like to be a part of the community, we do stream 3 days a week on Kick, and we're actually going to pick up a half stream after the podcast, okay? So we're going to be picking up a half stream. We are streaming on the platform known as Kick, kick.com/Oborrok. You can check that out in the description of the live stream down below. That'll be in the description. But yes, we don't just do the podcast, we also game. We have community nights. We are going to be bringing back movie night as well in our community gilded server. We're going to be bringing back that kind of stuff. We're always having amazing community vibes. So if you guys would like to be a part of that, the streams where we are playing games or we're just chatting it up and having a good time, that link to where we are live elsewhere, kick.com/Oborrok, that is in the description down below if you would like to check that out. But yeah, man. Okay. So console recollection, man. Console recollection. We're going to get into this, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about this, man. I'm really excited about this. Thank you once again for the likes, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much for the likes. Hopefully everybody's having a great day, man. Now, moving forward, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any live questions, you're more than welcome to leave them in the live chat. Or if you guys have any, if you are watching this once it is a VOD, and there's a question that was not asked or answered or something like that you would like to ask, you can leave that in the comment section down below once the podcast is a VOD. Or if you are listening to this on Spotify, then you can leave any comments or questions or anything like that. You can leave that in the Q&A section. I believe all you have to do is, once you're on Spotify, you scroll down a little bit. If you're listening to it, you scroll down a little bit and it should say like leave a reply. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you should be able to do that. We do have a Q&A section on Spotify as well. Alrighty, but we're gonna get into this. Yo, RJ, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're having a great day. Also, Richard, what's going on, my man? How you doing? The homie Spaceballs, welcome in, welcome in. How you doing? Rise, welcome in. Thank you for joining us as well. Viking, thank you for joining us as well. Welcome, welcome. It's wonderful to see you guys. Thank you again for the live reactions on the YouTube stream. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Now, so we're going to get into this, man. Console recollection, like I said, we're going to talk about my own personal experience, but we're also going to talk about some amazing stories from the community too, okay? So we're going to talk about some of my most memorable experiences and things like that from my own time playing on console, and we're going to talk about a lot of really cool stuff, but we're also going to talk about great stories from you guys. So everybody that provided me with an awesome story, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right, so we're going to get into this, man. Let me check to make sure there is nothing that I missed, and then we are going to get right into our first question. All right. Sydney says, hanging with a friend later today, but other than that, not much. Yo, hopefully you have a lot of fun hanging out with your friend. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. All righty. Eternal said, calculated. You already know, baby. You already know. Calculated. He said, let's go just in time. Viking, you are just in time, my man. Also, safe travels. Please get home safely, brother. Please get home safely. Again, for everyone joining us on the live experience, Sydney, Eternal, Rise, Car Guy, RJ, Viking, Richard, welcome, guys. Welcome in, welcome in. It's great to see you guys. Welcome in. Thank you, thank you. All right. So our first question is from a really good friend of mine by the name of Mesa. Now, again, if you guys have any questions throughout the course of this stream, feel free to, again, leave them in the live section of the live chat, or you can leave them once it is a VOD. You can leave them in the comment section, or you can leave them in the Q&A on Spotify. Anything like that, I will go back and I will answer those questions if you guys do have questions. But yeah, man. So, and again, to everybody from the Wolfpack that provided me with some questions and some stories, thank you so much. So the first one is from Mesa. And Mesa said, what was your first console? How old was I? So technically it was the PSP. Technically it was the PSP. Okay. I mean, it's more like a handheld console, right? Not like a full like console, you know what I mean? But it was technically my first console, right? I believe I was between the ages of like maybe 7.5, 8. I was pretty young. And the way I actually got the PSP was from my dad, because my dad, as I explained in the previous episode, was an avid gamer. You know, he had arcade machines, like the full tall arcade machines. He had like a GameCube. He had all kinds of different controllers, like all kinds of stuff, man. So he was an avid gamer, and he had, you know, a PSP and all that kind of stuff. So when I first basically got my hands on a technical, like real console, it was the PSP, and that was from my dad. I was between the ages of like 7.5 and 8, right around then. Now, we had this really cool Spider-Man game. I've always loved Spider-Man. Spider-Man's always been my favorite character. But we had this really cool Spider-Man game on the PSP where you would have to fight his, you know, deadliest foes. You would have to fight, you know, Dr. Octopus. You would have to fight the Vulture. You would have to basically just like stop heists, and it was really cool. It was really cool stuff, man. It was really cool. There was a training mode. Like, it was one of the coolest games that I had growing up, right? When I was really young, I played this thing all the time. I also did have a racing game. I don't know what like franchise it was. I know it was a racing game, right? Like, you were racing cars. I don't know like what franchise it was, but I do remember that I did have that game. I also remember not being good at it, like at all. I was not good at this racing game at all. Like I could not, man. But actually that is a fantastic question, by the way, RJ. I will definitely get back to that. Thank you very much for that question. And then also, by the way, Doom, welcome. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Welcome in. And be easy, car guy. Be easy, my friend. Okay. But yeah, so it was about, as PSP, I was like 7.5, maybe 8. I had a Spider-Man game that I played a lot, and then I had a racing game that I was not good at. I was not good at all. But I would play this PSP so much. I would play this PSP so much, man. Also, by the way, thank you very much for the Good for Days. Thank you for the confirmation on the audio, the visuals. Thank you. I'm glad everything is good. But I would play this PSP all the time. If the PSP was like getting low on battery, I would go plug this thing into the wall and I would still be playing. Like, if I was always playing this game, even if it was charging. I always remember playing this game as much as I possibly could because it was so fun. It was so fun, and I was always trying to like beat the levels on a higher difficulty. I remember getting stuck on the vulture level for a really long time because what you had to do is you basically had to go around the city, swinging around the city, and you had to catch the vulture, right? You had to catch the vulture. He would fly up and fly down. He'd swoop through like the sides of buildings and stuff like that, and you'd have to try to like stay on him, right? Because if he got away, then you'd fail the mission. You had to stay close to him, and you had to like try to catch up to him. But he had a couple different phases. It was really cool. It was really freaking cool, man. Some of the best memories I have from my earlier, like very early years of gaming was playing that PSP and playing that Spider-Man game. I gotta try to find out what it was called. I gotta try to remember what it was called because I do not remember. I do not remember. Alrighty, but when it came to my first real console, okay, so like a real actual console, not like handheld or something like that. My first real console was an Xbox 360. Okay, now we got an Xbox 360 when I was, I want to say probably 9. I might have been 9, I might have been 10, somewhere around there. And I remember we went to Kmart. Anybody remember Kmart? There might still be a few around, but where I'm from, there's like no more Kmarts, right? But we got this like cool bundle deal. Like you have, I'm trying to remember what it's called. You basically not lease. What am I thinking? What word am I thinking? Layaway? Is that what it was? Layaway? You could put stuff on layaway. You can make payments to it. Is that what I'm thinking? Layaway? Is that what it is? Layaway. Yeah. So we basically put the Xbox 360 on layaway. Okay, we got the Xbox 360. It had the Xbox Connect on it. It had a like I think maybe 2 or 3 games. There were Xbox Connect games because we got it as like a family thing, right? We got it as a family thing, so we basically had like a bunch of different family party games that we had, right? And it was fun. It was so fun. It was so fun, man. I remember those years being very, very, very fun, man. When we first got the Xbox, we didn't have Xbox Live, and I didn't have any like FPS games or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I didn't have none of that. Not yet. But when we first got the Xbox 360, I was about 9 or 10, and we got the Xbox 360 Connect. We got it from Kmart, and we put it on layaway, and then we finally got it, right? And I just remember that being amazing. I remember that being absolutely amazing. If you guys were a part of episode 2, or if you guys have listened to it, you guys know that from getting the Xbox 360, eventually around the time I was 10 and a half to 11, I did get Xbox Live, and that is when I started getting into, well, before I got Xbox Live, I got Call of Duty, I got Halo 3. I got Halo 3 and I loved it so much. Still to this day, I love it. I absolutely love that game. I actually model most of the kind of games that I want to play now off of Halo 3 because it is ingrained in my mind that it was such a good game, and it was. I played that story over and over and over again, constantly beating the same levels because I didn't care. It was so fun. I didn't care that I was playing the same levels and doing the same stuff. I would always wanted to try out the different weapons. I always wanted to see like if I could go without dying in the entire level. I always wanted to see maybe like how fast I could beat a level. I loved Halo 3 so much. And after Halo 3, that was my first FPS game. I came to it when it was not in its prime. Okay, I came to it probably like 4 or 5 years after it came out. Okay, so I got that thing in like a $10 bucket at GameStop. Okay, like we're gonna notice a trend here. That that's how I really got into like FPS games. Probably anywhere between like 3 to 6 years after they came out, I was getting them in the $10 to $15 bucket at GameStop, right? That's when I came to most FPS games, right? So that's when I got Halo 3. Then from there, I went into Call of Duty 4, and I was like, I just got to keep playing FPS games. This is amazing. This is amazing, man. This is fantastic. This is great. This is great, right? So basically, we went from there, played all those kind of games. I fell in love with the Halo franchise, fell in love with the Call of Duty franchise. Then when I was about 10 and a half to 11, I got Xbox Live. I got into Black Ops 2. I met my friend Johnny. I met my friend Car Guy. Still to this day, 9 years later, we're friends. Like, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely freaking crazy. First console, essentially, technically, was the PSP. First real, actual console, not handheld, was the Xbox 360. And I was between the ages of like 7 and 8 when I got the PSP. I was between the ages of like 9 and 10 when I got the Xbox 360. So that is the question from Mesa, but now we have the story from Mesa. So let's get into this, man. Alrighty, and again, if you guys have any questions, man, you can leave them in the Q&A section on Spotify, you can leave them in the comment section on YouTube, or you can leave them in the live section during the stream. So we're going to get into this really quickly. So that was her question, but now we're going to talk about her story. We're going to talk about her story. Okay, so, all right. So, alrighty. So Mesa says when she was 11, she thinks, she remembers her grandma and grandpa coming back from the summer in Mexico, and her grandma gave her brother and her an allowance, which was $1 a day. Okay, it was $1 a day when they came back. $1 a day. But so they gave her $1 a day, and then they hadn't seen her for a little while, and they basically accumulated $250 between the two of them, right? So they had accumulated $250 between the two of them. Her and her brother, Mesa and her brother, accumulated $250. The grandparents said, "We're going to give you $1 a day." They got to $250, right? So they really wanted a PS2. They really wanted a PS2. So Mesa talked to her parents about it and begged them to take them to Walmart because they had enough. They had enough to get a PS2. So they really wanted to get a PS2 and said it was very exciting. It was her first big purchase. And it was the first time she really saved. Like she had a savings at that point. She had a savings to work towards something big like that, right? Which was the PS2. Her and her brother were able to save towards that because the grandparents gave them $1 a day, which is really cool. Which is really, really cool. But then said that console definitely opened up the world of gaming to Mesa. Before that, we had an N64, and I learned to use critical thinking and strategy in Donkey Kong 64. But that PS2, I played my first RPG, I experienced my first storytelling, and it shaped my future of gaming. That is a wonderful story. That is a wonderful story. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mesa. That's really cool. That is really, really freaking cool. That's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mesa. RJ, so let me get to your question, man. So you said best horror game I have ever played. Best horror game I have ever played. I don't play a whole lot of horror games, but I would say I'd probably say Outlast. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably say Outlast because I haven't really played a whole lot of horror games. I've played like a few indie horror games. I played a few indie horror games, and then, I mean, like Phasmophobia, right? Like, other than that, I haven't really played horror games. So I would say probably Outlast because it's one of the horror games that I played when I think I was maybe like, I might have been 18 and a half. So this was a couple years ago, right? This was a couple years ago. But I played Outlast, and I remember it terrifying me. absolutely terrifying me, from the big dude that would like grab you and like throw you, just from the eeriness and like always worrying about running out of battery life in the camera, always worrying about like something being around the corner. I would say Outlast was horrifying, right? But so that's kind of like more in my past and like growing up and you know, playing horror games, because again, I didn't play a lot of them. I think maybe I've played like five horror games in total, right? In total. But I would say a newer horror game that I really like, actually, I really like. It's very unsettling, and it's a horror game, right? It's very unsettling, it's very creepy, okay? But it's Choo Choo Charles. Choo Choo Charles is basically like this demon spider train that like chases you around the map, and you have to basically upgrade your train with scrap. Like you have to go around, you have to like complete little quests, you have to like grab scrap, and then from there you can level up your train, you can make it stronger, more resilient, weapons do more damage, it gets a little bit faster, right? You have a final battle. It has a little bit of lore too. This was made by one guy, if I'm not mistaken. This was like the actual game itself was made by one guy, right? Like the music and the, you know, like the voice acting and stuff was other people, right? But as far as I know, Choo Choo Charles was made by one person. Okay, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, it's made by one person. But yeah, so I would say a newer horror game that I really like is Choo Choo Charles, because it's very unsettling. It's very unsettling. It's unique. It's cool. I have never really seen anything like that before, right? I've never seen like a trained spider. Like I've never seen something like that before. You know what I mean? So I would probably say Choo Choo Charles for a newer horror game that I like, but I would probably say Outlast for an older. So again, I didn't play it in its prime. I played it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 years after it came out. I didn't play it in its prime, but yeah, I'd probably say Outlast for, you know, earlier on, and then I'd probably say Choo Choo Charles for, you know, for more present day indie horror games. The game looks great. The game like it functions beautifully. It's very well optimized. Like it's insane. For the fact that, again, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was made by one person. If that is the case, this one dude did such a good job. Like the lighting is wonderful, the map is huge, the detail is great. Like it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, man. It is absolutely nuts. And if you haven't played Choo Choo Charles, I recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's a great game. It is a great game. If you like horror games, Choo Choo Charles is phenomenal. Alrighty. Rise, that is a fantastic question that I will talk about. I'll talk about that in a future episode, because I'll talk about that in a future episode because this one is about console gaming, console recollection, right? But in future episodes, we will be talking about content creation, how I got into it, why I started, why I kept going. We'll talk more about that in the future. Okay, my man? But thank you for that question. Thank you. If you guys do have future episode questions as well, feel free to leave them. Feel free to leave them. Let me know. You can DM them to me. You can leave them in the comments section. You can leave them in the Q&A section on Spotify. Let me know. Let me know, man. Also, if you guys have any specific suggestions for future episodes, let me know. Let me know, man. Alrighty. Now we are going to get into, if we have no other questions, we're going to get into our next question here. But one second. Sydney says, I hardly went to Kmart as a kid. Maybe I'd still be around if I went more. Shoot. I remember Kmart was the place. Kmart was the place, man. Layaway was awesome. Like I remember it was kind of like Target and Walmart put together, right? Like it literally was. It had the layout of Target. Like it kind of looked like a Target. Like when you went inside, it kind of looked like a Target, but it had the more like feel of a Walmart. You know what I mean? But it was small. It was like, normally I never really went to a Kmart that was like big Kmart. You know what I mean? I know there were a few big Kmarts out there, but I had like a pretty small Kmart, right? Like, you know what I mean? You could get from one section of the store to the other, like one end of the store to the other end of the store in maybe like, you know, a minute if you fast walked. You know what I mean? Like it was a pretty small store for the most part, right? But it was cool. It was cool, man. They had a gaming section, like technology. They had like a book section. They had clothes. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool, man. Kmart was awesome. I liked Kmart, man. All right. Rise. Oh, this is a great question. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those, man. Rise says, what was the game that you used to play but you stopped playing? Man, I would probably say... I'd probably say the new Modern Warfare 2, right? I was gassed. I was gassed for that game to come out, man. I was so excited for Modern Warfare 2 to come out. I wanted to play the story. I did play the story. I played the first, I think, 9 or 10 missions. Those are actually up on the... Those are actually on the YouTube. If you guys want to see that, I did make kind of like a cinematic gameplay series of that. I think the first nine missions. If you guys do want to check that, those are on YouTube. But yeah, no, I would probably say Modern Warfare 2, the new Modern Warfare 2, because it was very buggy, it was very glitchy, it had a lot of issues, it had a lot of problems, it was constantly crashing PCs, it felt very rushed and like it wasn't a finished product. And after previous Call of Duties that felt like that, and growing up playing Call of Duty and loving the franchise, and then seeing kind of like right around after Black Ops 3, Call of Duty kind of tanked. The Modern Warfare 2019 was amazing. Modern Warfare 2019 was amazing. And there are a few other Call of Duties that came out that I didn't play that I did hear are really good. But I want to say probably right around 2015. For me, Call of Duty tanked, right? Like 2015 was peak Call of Duty, man, right? Black Ops 3 was amazing for me, okay? For me, right? Obviously, you know, like, because that was one of the first Call of Duties that I actually played when it released, right? The reason I say it's peak for me is because that's when I played it when it released. All of the other Call of Duties, I came to them like 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 years after they came out, so they weren't in their prime anymore. Of course, there were still, you know, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people still playing them, but they weren't in their prime. You know what I mean? So I would probably say Black Ops 3 was like, you know, that was like the pinnacle of Call of Duty for me. And then kind of after that with Infinite Warfare, I did go back and play the Infinite Warfare campaign. I loved it. I thought the campaign was amazing. You know, from there, it's debatable, right? But the campaign I thought was really good. It was stunning. It was gorgeous, right? The view was amazing. I thought the plot was pretty good. Like the different stuff they let you do too was pretty fun. I liked Infinite Warfare's campaign, but I want to say probably right after 2015, Call of Duty kind of, for me, kind of went down. But yeah, I would say the new Modern Warfare 2. I was really expecting it to be a banger. I was really expecting the multiplayer to be finished and fleshed out and feel really good. The campaign to be a solid experience. And I know it was. The first few missions were absolutely amazing. But after the, like, you know, 5th full PC crash, I was like, I'm done. I would say the anticipation that I had going into that game and then feeling disappointed coming out of that game, that's why, you know, I went into it so enthusiastic to play it, and then it let me down, and that's why I don't play it anymore, right? A lot of Call of Duty games just kind of don't have that, like, pizzazz anymore, you know? That's a great question. Thank you. Eternal said, every game that he played before but not playing right now, XD. I mean, no, because I like going back to a lot of games, right? I like going back to a lot of games. I literally have in Steam, I have a tab for games that I literally say, like, the tab is literally called, like, Forgotten Realm or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or what is it? The shelf of, what did I call it? Like, not the shelf of not coming back or something like that. I don't know. Something like that, man. Something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of games that unfortunately let me down. broke. They, you know, just didn't have the right outcome to the hype that they had built up. A lot of games that I just had like mixed feelings about, right? That kind of stuff. So there's a lot of games that I don't play anymore for various different reasons, but also there's a lot of games that I haven't played in a while that I will go back and play because I love them so much, right? But yeah, there are definitely some games I just won't play no more. Yes, Eternal. Yes. Yes. Outriders is one of them. Yes. Yes. I gave that game like 3-4 tries, man. I gave it the college try time and time again, man. After that game let me down for like the 7th time, I was like, I'm good, man. I tried to keep coming back to that game and keep giving it chances, but I couldn't, man. I couldn't. But yeah, let me see. All right. What was the video game character that you liked and came to another video game? That's a fantastic question, Rise. That's a great question. Also, Eternal says petition to revive the series to finish it. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I love the campaign. I love the campaign. The voice acting was amazing. The mocap was amazing. The story was incredible, right? Like, incredible stuff, man. Absolutely incredible stuff. I would say though, it kind of fell flat, you know. It kind of fell flat. Like I would go back and I would play the campaign. Other than that, no. I know that they've had like, they're on like season 4 now. I think they're on like season 4, so they've had a lot of changes and updates and all that kind of stuff. So maybe maybe it's a possibility. I might go back. I don't know. I might go back to finish the story, but play the multiplayer and all that. No. Any tips for a new game streamer? I would say I'll say this, man. I'll say this, RJ. Do what you love. Don't listen to the haters. Have fun, okay? Have fun, my man. If you can, get on a schedule, create a schedule that works for you, that works around everything that you would do in a day-to-day basis, right? Make something that's like tangible. You can meet the schedule every day if you want to like keep doing this, right? If you want to get on a schedule and you want to stream, or you want to make videos, right? Or something like that. Try to come up with a schedule that works for you around what you do on a day-to-day basis, and try to be as consistent as possible, right? Because every time you make a video, every time you stream, like, it feels good. It feels really good to be consistent and to like keep going. You know what I mean? There are going to be some setbacks along the way. There are going to be some, some discouragements, but if you like keep going and you keep being consistent, and the most important thing, if you're enjoying the process, right? If you're enjoying the process, you will go far, man. Just my advice would be just enjoy the process. Try to be as consistent as possible. Extend yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself, and don't try to move too fast. Enjoy the moment, right? And if something didn't go right in the past, don't focus on the past, and don't try to shape the future too much. Try to be in the moment and enjoy the process of gaming, gaming and having fun. Because at the end of the day, if you are streaming and you are, gaming and creating content, you're having fun, right? So just try to make sure you're having fun, right? Have fun. Try to be as consistent as possible, and be forgiving to yourself when you make mistakes. You know what I mean? And don't try to rush the process. That would be my advice. I hope that helps, my man. And I do hope you go far. Okay. We're going to get into the second question and then the story. The second question is from Crow. Crow says, what console made the biggest impact for you, or one that you were passionate about? And I would have to say the Xbox 360 and the PS4. The Xbox 360 from my earlier years, right? Like kind of preteen, right? My kind of like preteen years, and then the PS4 for my kind of teenage young adult years, right? I would say that. I would say that. I would say the Xbox 360 because it is like firmly cemented in my childhood of like growing up in like playing games, right? It was the first real like actual console that I played. It was the first time I actually got online and I was able to meet people. It has probably the most memories from growing up and playing games because, like I said, I mean, that's when I played my first FPS game. It's when I got into the Halo franchise, the Call of Duty franchise. Like, I played Marvel vs. Capcom. I tried, like, split screen, you know, with my dad on, like, various different games. You know, I met my childhood friend Johnny. I met my childhood friend Car Guy. Those were on Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360. Then, you know, so firmly cemented in my growing up, you know, in my growing up in gaming, the Xbox 360. I have so many memories. Like I said, like split screen on Black Ops 2 with my dad, or like that. I mean, that's when I learned how to quickscope too. My boy Johnny taught me how to quickscope. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. Right? Like my boy Johnny taught me how to quickscope. He took me into Nuketown Black Ops 2, and he was like, all right, this is how you quickscope. And we sat there for hours, like quickscoping each other. Like, we set up bots, and we tried to like quickscope the bots. We tried, like, he taught me trick shotting, and we tried to like, all right, dude, we're gonna do a YY ladder stall, freaking double swap, you know, 360 no scope. Like, I learned how to trick shot. I learned how to quick scope. I did split screen with my dad. Like, we would go to some of the biggest maps, right? Sometimes we played Nuketown, but we would go to like some of the biggest maps, and we would set up custom classes, and we would set up our different like kill streaks that we would use as well. And we would just sit there, and we would just try to get like, you know, 250 kills, you know what I mean? Again, against the bots. And we would put them on like the hardest difficulty too, you know what I mean? Right? And then other times we would have them with no weapon other than a knife. So we had to try to dodge them because, you know, Black Ops 2, dog, they had crazy range. They would go for that knife and they'd hit you from 9 feet away. Like, I don't know how the freak they did it. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. I mean, of course, Xbox 360 as well. You know, when I did go online, I got into Black Ops 2. You know, I met my friends. I played. I can't even put into a number the amount of hours we put into zombies. Black Ops 2 zombies, man. We played the farm. We played the town. We played transit, dude. When we actually started getting the DLCs as well. Oh my God, we played Origins back to back to back to back. We tried to get every single staff. We tried to survive the Panzer, and like, we had so many funny moments dying to the Panzer. We had so many funny moments getting stomped on by the giant robots crossing the map. We had buried with what's his name? What was his name? Leroy? The tall guy. The tall guy on Buried. What's his name? Oh no! Oh God, the big guy. If you played Black Ops 2, you played zombies on the Buried map, you know who I'm talking about. The big guy in overalls. He like, if you were nice to him, he'd help you. If you were mean to him, he'd go into like the little jail cell and he'd sit there and he'd cower. And you wanted him to be nice to you, right? Or you wanted to be nice to him because he would hold a crawler, right? He would hold a crawler. If you had a crawler, he would go and he'd pick it up and he would cradle it like a baby. And you could sit there for just as long as the crawler was alive. You could sit there and just like prep for the next round. It was freaking awesome. It was awesome. We had time, like so many memories, sliding down the metal sheet from the top and like getting into the Buried map, staying in the cave system above and then trying to fight the zombies on top, then dropping down. So many memories of like dying to the ghost ladies, you know what I mean? Because we would either die to the ghost ladies, or I think they would take your perk. I'm pretty sure they would take one of your perks. If they touched you but they didn't kill you, they would take one of your perks and be like, oh man, I ran out of Juggernog, bro, she took my perk. Like, we had so many memories on zombies, bro. So many freaking memories, bro. Like, playing Origins, playing Die Rise, playing Buried, playing the town, transit, playing the farm, like Black Ops 2 zombies, split screen multiplayer with my dad, getting online and getting into just playing Xbox 360, like Black Ops 2 with friends as well. Like, so many memories, so many memories, so many amazing times. So I definitely say for like my kind of preteen, earlier on, you know what I mean? Kind of earlier on, preteen age memories. Most passionate console was the Xbox 360 because I mean, dude, you know what I mean? I had so many amazing memories, so many amazing, wonderful times playing on the Xbox 360, playing Black Ops 2, playing the various different games that we played, you know, before I got Xbox Live, like after I got Xbox Live, all kinds of stuff. So that was more like my kind of preteen, and then going into like teenage adult. I did have an Xbox One. I didn't have it nearly as long as I did a PlayStation 4. So more getting into like my teenage kind of early adult was more PlayStation 4, right? I did have an Xbox One. I did have one. I did play it for, I don't know, I had it for maybe a year and a half, something like that. I'm not entirely sure how long, but I got a PS4, and that was really where my like teenage gaming memories took off, right? That's when I was playing the most. I played a lot of Just Dance. Yes, Sydney, that is incredible. The Connect Just Dance. Yes, my sister and I played the Connect Just Dance all the time. All the time, man. We loved Xbox 360 Connect Just Dance. We loved it. You just unlocked the memory. Thank you so much. Golly, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. That is really cool. You had that as well. That's really freaking cool. But no, so PlayStation, right? That was more like my teenage years into my early adult. I went from, I got Black Ops 3. I did end up getting Black Ops 3. I went like very kind of like, I don't know, amateur pro. I don't know, because I didn't go semi-pro and I didn't go pro. I kind of went like amateur pro. I don't know. We had like, I mean, dude, I met my boy Michael. I met my boy Michael Rodama. Met him on there. We played Black Ops 3. Dude, I can't even put into a number of hours, bro. We played Black Ops 3 so much. We played all the zombies, dude. Like, we loved facing the Margwa on Black Ops 3. What's it called? The base Black Ops 3 zombie map. I can't remember. Oh God! But yeah, we faced the Margwa, the three-headed like tentacle monster beast thing. We loved that. We loved fighting that thing. That thing was hard to fight from time to time. But no, like we tried to do the Easter eggs. We tried, man. Yeah, man. No, yeah, the PlayStation 4 was amazing because I went from Black Ops 3 and I played that forever. I played GTA 5. I did go and I played Infinite Warfare. I played Paragon for the first time. Like, yeah, when I played Paragon for the first time, it was on PlayStation. And from going into their V42 update, which split a lot of the community actually, because it changed so much, and it made the game worse for a lot, better for a few, I would say. But their update, I really wanted to get a PS4 Pro because I wanted to get the full effect. I really wanted to get the full effect of the update, right? I wanted to get the full effect of it. So I got a PlayStation 4 Pro in order to like play that update and really enjoy that update, right? And all the graphics and everything that they changed. But yeah, PlayStation 4, man, I went Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare. I went, we played Minecraft too. We played Minecraft. We played, oh man, dude, we played, that's when I first got into Doom too. I played Doom 2016. I played it like way later, but that's when I first played Doom 2016 as well. So many memories. That's when I first got into Fortnite as well. That's when I met my boy Eli. That's when I met my boy V-Man. That's when, oh dude, that is when I started streaming too. When I had a PS4. It might have been when I had a PS. It might have been the PS4 Pro, but it was when I had a PS4. I can't remember if it was the PS4 or the PS4 Pro, but it was when I had a PS4. That's when I originally did start streaming as well, when I first like tried to stream. So yeah, crazy, freaking crazy, man. But yeah, no, I would say most memorable and most passionate, most impactful consoles in my life were the Xbox 360 when I was younger, and the PS4 going into my, teenage to almost like, pre-adult kind of years. Amazing times, man. That's when I played Space Lords as well, man. Space Lords kind of went off the map, but Space Lords was actually a really fun game that I loved as well. I played Space Lords for a long time. I loved Space Lords. That's when I met Suki as well, a very good friend of mine. I've been friends with him for probably 5 years now. But yeah, no, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 4. So I'll get to the questions that you guys have in the live chat here in just a second, but we're gonna read Crow's console experience. Okay, so that was Crow's question. But now we're gonna read Crow's console experience. Okay, so Crow says, for me, my console that I remember making the most impact in my life was the DS/3DS. I remember playing Nintendogs in daycare and played my DS/3DS on car rides and hospitals freaked me out, but when my dad crushed his heel and was in the hospital for all those surgeries, there was more than one, I would visit him, but still be playing my DS/3DS. Like I remember upgrading from the DS to the DSi, then to the DSi XL that I bought with my own money. It was money I got for Christmas and birthday money I had saved, I'm pretty sure. My first 3DS battery wasn't great, so I ended up getting a second one that my parents got me. But yeah, if I had to pick a console for the impact on my life, it would be the DS or the 3DS over the years. That's a great question. Or that's a great story. That's a great story. Absolutely awesome. And I did speak with Crow as well. Crow's dad is good. Crow's dad is good. Crow's dad is healed and everything is good, which is wonderful. I'm glad your dad is safe. I'm glad your dad has recovered. And that's a wonderful story. That's an absolute wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm glad that you had a DS and a 3DS that kind of really got you through the scary times of going to hospitals and seeing your dad in the hospital. And they provided comfort, because you were able to play a game and it was kind of able to help you escape, the scariness of reality for a little bit. I'm happy that you had that, and you were able to get through some hard times. That's what's up. Alrighty, let's see. So we have so Rise, great question as well. What was the video game character that you liked and came to another video game? I would honestly say I would say Geralt. I would say Geralt of Rivia. Okay, you guys know I love The Witcher 3. I absolutely love The Witcher 3. And I am ecstatic that Geralt is in Fortnite. Okay, because I love Fortnite as well. Fortnite it's been one of the pinnacle kind of games in my life. I've been playing it for over 5 years, right, off and on. I love Fortnite and I love The Witcher 3, and it is my favorite collab. Okay, bringing the Witcher franchise to Fortnite, a game that I also love so much, is my absolute favorite collab. Okay, favorite collab, because I love The Witcher 3. I love Geralt of Rivia. I love his story arc, right? And then bringing him to a game that I also love playing with my friends, chilling, relaxing, sweating. I'm guilty of sweating, baby. No, in Fortnite, bringing that over is amazing, and they did it so well too. They made Geralt look so good. Like, the swords look amazing. When you pull out one of the swords from the sheath, one of them disappears on the back. Like, it looks amazing, right? They brought in Igni. They brought in different little emoticons and sprays. They just had another collab where they brought in Yennefer, Vengerberg, and Ciri. Incredible, absolutely incredible. My favorite character and collab from one game to another would be the Witcher franchise and Geralt coming to Fortnite. Fantastic question. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Eternal says, okay, rank these consoles: Nintendo Switch, NDS, all types included, PlayStation, 1 to 5 grouped together, PS handheld, PSP, Vita. Actually, I remember the Vita. I never had one, but I remember the Vita. Xbox, Wii, Steam Deck, the KF console. I forgot all about that. Yeah, they do have that, huh? There's a KFC console, huh? They do have that, huh? I saw an ad about that, like I don't know, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah, man. You said Atari, 1 to 5 stars each. Wait, actually, wait a minute. Eternal, hold up. Eternal, sir. Eternal, isn't that your question? Isn't that one of your questions? By the way, thank you for providing me with like 20 questions. Thank you so much, man. Let me see. Hold on. Wasn't that one of your questions up here? Hold on. Wait a minute. I thought that was one of your questions. No? Hold on. I thought that was one of your questions. I guess it wasn't. Oh snap. I thought that was one of your questions. Ooh, hold on. I'm tripping now. Wait a minute. I gotta see. Whose question was that? Hold on. Oh, that was Chickadee. Okay, I'll do a bulk question. Okay, I'll do a bulk question. I'll answer yours and then I'll answer Chickadee's at the same time. Okay, because she asked what is my top 5 consoles, and you're asking me to rate different consoles. So I'll do that at the same time. I'll do that at the same time. I like that. That's cool. You said not the quick revive? Oh yeah, dude. When you played solo and you lost quick revive, oof, it was over. It was over, my man, for sure. Rise. Sydney says we Just Dance was not that good. Too easy to cheat. Was it really? I did actually really like. I really liked the Xbox Connect, because you had like a little silhouette of yourself, and you could see yourself doing the movement, and you had to match the character on the screen too. Like, that was really cool, man. I loved it. Man. Wii Fit was cool though. I never had a Wii, but I played a little bit of Wii Fit, and I thought that was cool too, man. I did think that was cool. Sydney also says, I honestly need to go to my parents' house and download all the Save Just Dance videos we have on the 360. That'd be fire. Yo, that'd be cool. Let me see. Said, what was the game? Rise says, what was the game that you can no longer play because it sadly shut down? Oh, there's a few. Oh God, there's a few. Ooh, there's a few. I'd say Paragon. The original Paragon. Yes, it does live on in a new light through excellent questions. Thank you guys. Paragon does live on in a new light through predecessor, right? But OG, original, like Epic Games Agora Paragon, yo, man. Used to be Anthem, not anymore. Oh, no. Like literally can't play. Like servers are like done, right? You can still hop on and play Anthem, right? And the servers are still on, right? Like, to a lot of people's surprise, the servers are still on, right? Even though they canceled Anthem 2.0, you can literally still download the game and hop in, and you can find people and matchmake with people, and like, it's crazy. No, it is still very alive. Like, it might have 10 people playing it, but you can actually as of October, no, hold on, I'm capping, wait a minute. As of October 2022, if I'm not mistaken, there was reports that there are 40,000 people playing the game between PlayStation, Xbox, and I think PC. There are 40,000 people playing the game as of October 2022. So yeah, no, that game is still very alive. I mean, it might content-wise, right? But no, as an actual server shutdown, you literally cannot play the game anymore at all from that company, Paragon. You literally can't play it. Yes, predecessor and Paragon the Overprime have the assets, and they're trying to like kind of remake the game. Predecessor is not remaking the game. They're making the game their own way, which I really like, and I really appreciate that. But the original Paragon, you literally cannot play that anymore. The servers are completely down. Like, they even took down their Agora.gg. Like, you can't track anything. That game just essentially doesn't exist anymore, right? Which is sad, which is really, really sad, man. But it is cool that before they took the servers down, they released all of the assets. They released all the assets, and now, you know, we have Predecessor, right? Amazing, amazing. It's not the original, but it is still really cool. It is still really, really cool. All right. Now, our third question is from Yahuki, and we have a great story. We have a great story, a very long story, but a great story from Yahuki. But Yahuki says, "What was your favorite game to play on console?" Okay, and again, I would say Black Ops 2. Okay, again, I would say Black Ops 2. The reason for that is because all the times, like I said earlier, all the times we played PvP, split screen with my dad, I learned to quick scope, I learned to trick shot. Like, I met Johnny, I met Car Guy. The Black Ops 2 story was absolutely incredible, right? Mason, no, you know what I mean? Like, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible, man. Again, like I said, you know, playing bots with my dad, like, you know, if they did have weapons or if they only had like a knife, like, we tried to, like, you know, get the most kills that we could against bots. We thought that was really fun. Playing all of the zombies maps, again, like I said, like all the wonderful, amazing times that we had playing, you know, the buried map, playing the Origins map, playing Die Rise. I remember playing Die Rise with Car Guy so much, and we would constantly die because there was this jump that you had to make. You had to dolphin dive to get to it, and we would always fall. It was on like the highest, it was like one of the highest levels that you could go to, and you had to run and dolphin dive to it to get to the other side, and we would always fall and just and then that was the end of the round, right? And you would hear the, you know what I mean? Like you died, right? Every time. And dude, it made us so mad, but we also laughed hysterically, bro, because it was so funny that we could never make that jump. And I remember having that memory with Car Guy as well. So I would say Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2, incredible, fantastic. Too many great memories on console, man. Too many great memories. And actually, you guys want to know something really cool? I would like to get, so this is actually answering a question further. We'll talk about this. At some point, I want to get an Xbox. And I will tell you something really cool, okay? Xbox now owns, Microsoft now owns the rights to Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken. And they revitalized all of the old Call of Duties. No cheaters, no hackers, as far as what I've been seeing, right? That people are talking about. No cheaters, no hackers, nothing. All of the servers are revitalized. All of them, okay? So, OG Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, Modern Warfare 3, what do you call it? Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Call of Duty World at War. All those games, you can find lobbies, and you don't have to wait an hour to get a lobby, right? They're actually alive again. All of the OG Call of Duty servers. So I'm like, okay, I already wanted to get an Xbox again, right? A newer one, and go back and play with the boys, right? But now the servers are back online, and bro, let me tell you, it's over. It's over. Come on. It's over, dude. So yeah, now. That's really cool. That's really freaking cool. But now we have a story. We have a story from Yahuki. So this is Yahuki's story. So Yahuki said, okay. Yahuki said, let's see, my personal console experience. Well, I'd like to give gaming on my PS4 and PS5 a majority of the credit for my close relationship with my older siblings. We had started we had started to game together back in 2017, starting with Destiny 2. We've always had a tight relationship as siblings because of our upbringing. We really needed to stick together when things got rough growing up, but my older brothers were always closer with one another, and I was closer with my twin sister. But as we started to game together, we formed an even stronger bond, and we understand we understand each other a lot more. We fight a hell of a lot less, and almost every night we try to get some game time in, and those are the hours filled with the most laughs. I'll include also it said that Yuhuki would include a picture of them playing Destiny 2 back in 2017, and then a more present one, 2022. Really cool, man. Being able to like strengthen a bond with your siblings, right? Strengthen a bond with your siblings, or get back in contact with a friend you haven't talked to in years. Or gaming is just incredible, man. It's so freaking incredible. And then Yuhuki says, I have another story. So Yuhuki says, I just thought of another experience I could share too. Being able to play video games on my console helped me with my grieving process. This may sound incredibly dramatic, but it's true. When Lance Reddick, if you guys don't know who Lance Reddick is, Lance Reddick played, he was in the John Wick movies, and he was in a lot of other movies. Great actor, but most notably, he was Commander Zavala. He was Commander Zavala in Destiny 1 and 2. And he passed away. I want to say it was I think it was this year, actually. Yeah, I think he passed away like 4 or 5 months ago. I will say, man, going back and watching the John Wick movies, it was really hard to see him, It was really hard to see him because he's no longer with us, It was really hard to go back and like watch him on screen and be like, he's no longer with us. But I'm really happy that he created such amazing memories in all of us through playing Commander Zavala, right? Through playing the I forget his exact role, the receptionist at the hotel. I think he was the receptionist. I think that's what the role's called. But man, like I'm really happy that all of us had a great experience with Lance Reddick, All of us know him as Commander Zavala. He is Commander Zavala, and he will never lose that title, right? Although he may no longer be with us, he will never be forgotten. And he's a GOAT, for real. Rest in peace. Rest in power, man. Rest in power to the GOAT. We miss you, Lance. But Yuhuki says, Lance Reddick unfortunately passed away. I was at such a loss. To know that the life of someone so beautiful and kind was stolen away from us really struck me hard, and I was desperate to find some comfort. So when I learned of players hopping onto Destiny 2 to form some sort of mock vigil around the legendary character he brought to life, Zavala, I immediately rushed to join. I sat in that tower instance for about 6 hours or longer, and the same player sat beside me, only ever moving to scoot closer to me. Even though it may seem silly, as it's literally only a video game, the support and reassurance it brought me was very much real. That night, I made some new friends, and we all mourned and healed together. I did speak with Yuhuki about this as well, and I said, don't think it's silly at all. Don't think it's silly. Don't think it's ridiculous. It's not just a video game. Like Lance and all of these voice actors, these mocap actors or whatever, like they create amazing memories in us. They help us have some of the most amazing experiences we've ever had in our life, right? Like the voice actors for various different characters, or like the time and the passion and the heart that they put into these characters that form amazing bonds with us as we're growing up and playing games. Like that's not silly at all, right? That is not silly at all. It's incredible. And please rest in power, Lance. We miss you, legend. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for the question, and thank you for the wonderful story. And I'm glad throughout that process as well, you made some new friends, and you were able to mourn and heal with those new friends in the tower. Awesome. That's awesome, Yuki. Alrighty. Ooh, yes, Sydney, there was something called the PS Vita. Yes. I think it was smaller than the PSP. I think. I can't remember exactly, but yes, there was a PS Vita. Eternal says, but yeah, you can go based on what you heard about them and also your experience with them. Thank you. I got you, my man. Thank you. Thank you. Eternal says old Overwatch servers, I guess. It used to be Cartoon Network, Fusion Fall for me, but there are servers still up, revived by the community. We love that. Love that, man. See, like I said as well, like predecessor, right? It might not be Paragon, but it takes the assets and it takes the love and the passion from the community, and it kind of recreates in a way, in its own light, Paragon today. So the original Paragon might not be a thing anymore, but the community came together and they took the assets, they utilized the assets from Epic and they created their own thing, right? So it lives on in a different light from the community. Amazing thing. Amazing, for real. Amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, I loved Overwatch. I absolutely loved Overwatch, man. And I actually just reinstalled Overwatch 2. I haven't played it in probably 5 months. I literally just hopped on the other night and I played and I loved it for, you know, the first time in like 5 months. But yeah, I think we might actually play a little bit of that later today, honestly, if you guys want to hop in and play some Overwatch later on. Yeah, man. Yeah. Overwatch 1, I didn't play it as much. But I have a lot of great memories from Overwatch 1, and I do kind of like what they did with Overwatch 2, right? I do kind of like what they did. I'm heartbroken that they completely scrapped like 7 years worth of work for their PvE, right? That was going to be massive, and they just scrapped it. Plus, they only have one new character in like 5 months, right? Since Season 1 came out, they only have like one new character, which is... It's unfortunate, man. Millions of players love Overwatch, right? So I hope Overwatch like gets better. You know, I really hope it gets better and they keep dropping content and they find some way to kind of heal the community's trust after getting rid of the PvE. Because, man, that shattered a lot of people's hope. Mama Wolf, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Hi, Mama Wolf. Hello. Rise, yours is Little Big Planet. I loved Little Big Planet, man. I used to play with my cousin all the time. I loved Little Big Planet. I was terrible at it. I was a bot, but I loved it. It was so fun. It was so fun. What's a game you can't stop playing? Another great question. Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite. I love Fortnite. Even if I put it down for a little bit, I'm always like, you know what? I feel like I want to play some Fortnite. Like, I love Fortnite. But I'd also say The Witcher 3. I can play that game any day of the week. I love The Witcher 3 so much. I'd also say Cyberpunk 2077. I could play that any day of the week. Amazing games. Amazing games. And again, great questions. Again, if you guys have not already dropped a like on the podcast, whether it is through Spotify, if you are leaving a heart or a like on YouTube, if you haven't already done that, please do. It does help out a lot, and I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much to everybody that has liked and already left a heart on Spotify. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. All right. All right. So we're going to get into our fourth question here. Alrighty. So we have our fourth question is from Eli. Our fourth question is from my boy Eli, and he says, when are you coming back to console? So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. So I actually do want to get back into console. I do. I really want to get an Xbox Series X at some point. I want to get the little mini fridge, okay? I want to get the Xbox Series X at some point. I'd like to hook it up, and I would like to go down memory lane, bro, and just go back to all my old stomping grounds, all the original Call of Duties, especially now that all of the servers are back on, right? All the servers are back on, and they're all great, and people are loving them and having fun like nothing ever happened, right? I would love to go back and play all the original Call of Duties. I would love to go back and play all the amazing maps from Black Ops 2 Zombies, Black Ops 3 Zombies, right? I'd love it. I'd absolutely freaking love that. So I am not opposed to it by any means. I would absolutely be down. As a time for like win specifically, I'm not entirely sure, but as a confirmation, yes, I would 100% be down. I'd 100% be down to come back to console. I'd 100% be down. Absolutely. But yeah, no, I'd like to get either a Series X or a Series S. I would prefer a Series X, right? But an S would do as well. I'd love a Series S or a Series X. I'd really like to get a beanbag chair. I was talking about this on one of the kick streams, but I'd like to get a beanbag chair, hook up the console, and then just go to the old stomping grounds and just vibe with the homies, bro. Just vibe with the homies, bro. I'm so serious. I'm so serious, bro. Get a beanbag chair, you know, like, and just chill and just vibe, right? Like super lax, super chill streams, going back, laughing with the homies like nothing changed over the last 10 years, right? Like we're right back where we started, and I would be so down. I'd be so down for that. Again, exactly when that's going to happen, I'm not entirely sure, but I would absolutely be down. So yeah, I would definitely be down for that. Our fifth question comes from Chickadee the Goose. Chickadee Goose says, so I'll pair this together, Eternal. So Chickadee says, what are your thoughts about PlayStation versus Xbox? And what are your top 5 consoles? Okay. So what are your thoughts about PlayStation versus Xbox? And what are your top 5 consoles, right? So I will answer your question along with this, Eternal. Also, Dadbull, hello, welcome in. Yes, sir. YouTube. We have my man. Yo, Mad Bull, thank you so much. I appreciate you. The Mad Bull, Dad Bull, baby, coming in here with the freaking Orbital Wolf membership for 4 months. Welcome back to the Orbital Wolfpack. I hope you enjoy the 9 custom emotes and the golden wolf paw sub badge next to your name. Welcome in, homie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My man. Dad Bull, how you doing today, baby? How you doing? It's great to see you. But yes, we have been streaming on YouTube every single Friday for the last 9 months. Yes, we've been streaming on YouTube every single Friday for the last 9 months. And over the last 3, this is the 3rd week, we have now created a podcast. I've wanted to make a podcast for a very long time. And I thought, I was like, yo, what better time? So we did it. My man. We did it. We made a podcast. It is known as the PAWCAST. And we do this every single Friday. So we no longer do the gaming streams. on YouTube, but we do the podcast episodes, and then we go to kick afterwards. Okay, so we do our gaming after the podcast, but yes, every normal stream time on Fridays is the podcast. And yeah, this is our 3rd episode. We are doing console recollection. So we did, our first one was Fit Friday, where we spoke with Mama Wolf about her journey and her life through fitness, health, and wellness, and her journeys of content creation as well. We talked about, in the 2nd week, we talked about growing up in gaming, how we grew up in gaming, the most influential games and game characters and moments and memories that we had growing up in gaming, from the very beginning, from the earliest memory I have of gaming till now, basically, right? And then this week we are talking about console recollection, so specifically the times and the memories we created on console when I was on console. So we are going to do these every single Friday. My man. We're going to bring on multiple different guest stars as well. Yo, we're going to bring on multiple different guest stars. We're going to bring on all the homies. We're going to talk about different topics. It's going to be a lot of fun. My man. Yo, Dad Bull also coming in here with the $2. I believe that's is super chat. I believe that's a super chat. I think so. I think that's a super chat. This man coming in here with the $2 super chat as well. He said, Golden Wolf Paw for the win. Yo, my man, I hope you enjoy the Golden Wolf Paw, and I hope you enjoy the emotes as well. Thank you so much for the member and the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, my man. Thank you. RJ says, 2 words about virtual reality? 2 words. You just want me to say 2 words about virtual reality? Just 2 words in total about virtual reality. If I were to say 2 words about virtual reality. Interesting possibilities. Interesting possibilities. Dude just says virtual reality. Exactly. 2 words about your thoughts on virtual reality. Virtual reality, my man. No. Interesting possibilities. I would say that. I don't know enough about virtual reality, but the concept and the thought of it, I would say it's an interesting. It would promote interesting possibilities. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Alrighty. So again, our fifth question is from Chickadee. I'll catch up on any questions we have in the live chat. Give me 1 second here, but our fifth question is from Chickadee, and Chickadee says, "What are your thoughts about PlayStation versus Xbox, and what are your top 5 consoles?" So my thoughts about PlayStation versus Xbox. For a long time, when I was on Xbox and I really got into like FPS gaming, Call of Duty, that kind of stuff, right? When I really got into that, I was like Xbox superior, right? I was like Xbox all day, every day. Xbox is the system, right? But then when I went to PlayStation and like I moved on to PlayStation, I got more into playing on PlayStation and doing that kind of stuff. I was like, yo, PlayStation is the vibe, right? And I was like, when I was on that console, that's where my mind was, right? I was like Xbox all day, every day. I have an Xbox, woo, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's it. And then when I had a PlayStation, I was like, PlayStation all day, every day, woo, like, you know what I mean? But so I kind of had like I like this console more because this is the console that I have. But then also I had a little bit of a like, no, it's like genuinely better. Like PlayStation's genuinely better than Xbox. Like I did have that for a little bit. I did actually think that for a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, they're essentially the same thing. If I'm not mistaken, like if you break them down, I think there was a report on this. If I'm not mistaken, they are literally made out of like the exact same parts. Like they have like essentially the exact same parts for the most part. So they're essentially the same thing, right? So the whole like PlayStation versus Xbox, which I did too, it doesn't make sense because they're like the same thing. They have vast different communities and games and exclusives and stuff like that, but they're essentially the same thing, right? But no, I did that too. When I was on PlayStation, I was like PlayStation all day. When I was on Xbox, I was like Xbox all day. But the reason for that is because I would say I didn't even really know about PlayStation all that much, right? Like I never had a PS2, PS3. I never really had that kind of stuff, right? Never had that. So my kind of getting on the map of PlayStation was PlayStation 4. Like I knew of a PlayStation 3. I knew of it, but I didn't like I never had one. I never really like played it other than like at my cousin's house because my cousin had a PS2 and he had a PS3 at some point. But I never really like I never played it. I never played console like that, right? So when I actually started playing console, it was Xbox. It was always Xbox. So I was always more like Xbox. But when I really started to like, oh my God, I want to play PlayStation, it was when Arkham Knight came out, when Batman Arkham Knight came out. If you guys have not played it, play it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Incredible campaign. If you love Batman, if you love DC, amazing story, amazing graphics, massive open world. The driving, the Batmobile is incredible. The side quests are amazing. The lore is unbelievable. I would highly suggest it. If you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, play Batman Arkham Knight. But that was really when I started to like get on the map of PlayStation. I was like, okay, I gotta get a PlayStation. Like that was kind of like, you know, that was kind of like, you know, when I actually got on the map of a PlayStation. But yeah, no, when I was on Xbox, I was more for the side of Xbox. When I was on PlayStation, I was more for the side of PlayStation. But yeah, no, I would say when I actually moved to PC, I didn't care anymore. Like I literally didn't care anymore. When I first came to PC, I didn't care anymore. I was like, Xbox is Xbox, PlayStation is PlayStation. If you like PlayStation or if you like Xbox, even though I've played both, either like, you know, there's no need for a controversy. There's no need for like this side is better or this side is better. You know what I mean? Like if that's the console that you like, if that's the community that you like, if that's where you got your friends, rock on. You know what I mean? Right? Like I loved Xbox for the time that I was on Xbox, and I loved PlayStation for the time that I was on PlayStation. I had a moment, I had a time where I was like, this console's superior or this console's superior. But when I came to PC, I was like, you know what? Let both live, right? Let both live. Both have created amazing communities, and both have created amazing memories in so many gamers throughout, you know, the world, right? That love PlayStation for what PlayStation offers, or love Xbox for what Xbox offers. You know, when I came to PC, I finally had that realization. And then like a couple years later, when they were talking about like the Xbox and the PlayStation, I think this was, I want to say this was right around 2021, maybe like right around 2021. They were talking about how apparently the Xbox Series X and Series S and the PlayStation 5 Pro, or you know, the PS5, are the same thing. Like they essentially have the exact same specs, right? So I'd already been on PlayStation, or I'd already been on PC for quite some time at that point, and I already was like, you know, if you like this side or if you like this side, either way, you know what I mean? But when I came to, when I found that out, I was like, oh, like, I was like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like when I came to PC, it already didn't matter because I played both for a long time and I had like great memories on both, right? But then, you know, a couple of years had gone by. I was like, you know, whatever. Both like are amazing. Again, they both have amazing communities. But then when I found out they're essentially the exact same thing, I was like, there's no reason to have a controversy. You're playing the same thing in a different shell. It's got the exact same specs. You know what I mean? It's got the exact same specs. It's just in a different shell. This one is a refrigerator and this one is a, you know what I mean? This one, you know what I mean? Like, no, I like both. I love both, right? There was a time where I was like, this is superior or this is superior, but I love both. I love both. I like both PlayStation for the amazing times and memories and friends I made on PlayStation, but I also love Xbox for the amazing times and memories and friends I made on Xbox, right? I love Xbox. I love PlayStation. I like PC. You know? Yeah. Viking, please, my man, safe travels. I love you, my man. Be safe. Be easy, my friend. And also, Nikki, thank you for joining us. Yo, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in. It's wonderful to see you. Righty. But top 5 consoles, I would probably say top 5 consoles. For me, PSP, because that's my first console, technically handheld. Xbox 360, most memories growing up. Xbox, then Xbox One, because Xbox 360 going into Xbox One, most memories. Then PlayStation 4, because that was like my teen years into young adult years. And then I would say Xbox Series X, although I don't have one yet. I really want to get an Xbox Series X, and I know what it's capable of, and I really like it. So I would say PSP, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series X. That's what I would say. If I were to rank my consoles, my top 5 consoles, that's what I would say. Then Eternal says, so hold on. Eternal said to rank the consoles here. Let me see. Rank these consoles. Nintendo Switch. I think it's dope. I don't have one. My sister has one. So I'm going to rank these as somebody who has not had them. Okay. I'm going to rank these as somebody who has not had them. So I'm going to rank them higher because of what I know. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to rank them higher because I know like the amazing communities that these consoles have. Right. So even if I have not played them myself, I would, you know, I would still give them a high rating because, you know, how am I going to give it a low rating? I've never even played it. You know what I mean? But Nintendo Switch, I don't have one. I've never played one. My sister has one. She loves it. I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's great. It's handheld. You know, you can, can't you pop off the sides? The Switch, you can like pop off the sides and make it a little bit smaller, put it in the carry-on case. I'd say 4 out of 5. I think Nintendo Switch is dope, right? I think Nintendo Switch is dope. And then also like 3DS, Nintendo DS. Yeah, Nintendo DS, 3DS. I never had a 3DS, but I know it's lit. I'd give it a 4 out of 5, probably. My DS, I would give a 5 out of 5 because I played it. I actually played it, right? I give it a 5 out of 5 because I played it. I loved it. It created great memories for me as well. I played Lego Ninjago. I played, which was kind of like a little Pokemon game for the most part. I never played a Pokemon game, but it kind of was the same style, right? Top down, right? You move the character around. You do little quests. Like it was cool. It was kind of like Pokemon a little bit, the same kind of style layout. But I'd say for the time that I played Lego Ninjago and the other games that I had on DS, I loved it. I thought it was really fun. It had a good battery life, and I just liked it overall. So I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Then PlayStation 1 through 5. I did not play PlayStation 1, 2, 3, or 5. I only played the 4. So PlayStation 5, I'd probably give it a 5 because I know what it's capable of, and I know that a lot of people love it. The PlayStation 1 through the 3, nostalgic for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of gamers, right? Created like the pinnacle of gaming for the longest time. So I'd probably rank all of them a 4, if not higher, right? The PlayStation 5, I would say I'd give it a 4. I'd give the PlayStation 4 a 4, right? I had it for a long time. I got a PlayStation 4 Pro, loved it. I'd give it a 4. PlayStation 4 Pro. The PS handheld, PSP, Vita. I'd give the PSP a 5. I never played the Vita. I'd give it a 4. I don't know much about it, but I give it a 4. I played the PSP extensively. I loved the PSP. I'd give it a 5. Steam Deck and the Wii. I never played a Wii. I've never had my own, but I had some fun with a Wii. Like from time to time, I got to go over to a friend's house and they had a Wii. I give it a 4. I think it's a good console. I like it. Steam Deck, never played it, never anything. I don't even know much about it. I give it a 4. Vita, I don't know. Did I rank the Vita? I give it a 4. I don't know. The KF console, I'm gonna give it a 10. I don't know, dude. Come on, man. I saw an ad about that. They said you could fry chicken while playing the game. I was like, what? I'm gonna give it a 10, bro. I know that's not even the ranking. I'm gonna give it a 10. The thought of frying chicken while freaking... the ad was ridiculous, bro. They said you can keep your chicken warm while playing the game. I was like, what? I don't know. I give it a 10. Freaking Atari. I never played it. My earliest console was a GameCube, but I never played Atari. I never played Sega Genesis. I never played any of that, but I know they're amazing. I'm gonna give it a 5. Those are my rankings. Those are my rankings right there. All right. Basically between 4 and 5, right? Basically between 4 and 5, because half of those I didn't even play them, but the ones I did, some of the ones I did play, I'd give a 4, right? You know, because they created such amazing memories for me growing up. Like I'm not gonna give them like a 2 or a 3, right? But yeah. Rise says, what game do you want to be a movie of? Ooh, I would love to see an actual really good Halo movie, right? Like you have different animated movies they've made, and they had Halo Forward Unto Dawn, right? But I'd like to see a really, really good Halo movie. Like a really actually lore accurate. Chief doesn't take his helmet off. I'm playing. Like actually lore accurate, dope, super fun, like just good movie, great pacing. It's not 4 hours long, but it's also not 90 minutes, right? I'd like to see a really good Halo movie, but I also love to see a cyberpunk movie. I would love to see an actual based off of V being the main character and meeting Judy, meeting Evelyn, meeting Jackie, meeting Hanako. Like, if it's based off of the game, right? I would love to see or even if it was kind of like Edge Runners, because Edge Runners takes place, I think, 1 or 2 years before the game, or like 5 years, something like that. But Edge Runners was the anime, and it was fantastic. It was absolutely incredible. But I would love to see a movie, like a real movie of either like Cyberpunk Edge Runners or Cyberpunk off of that, of the game and how the game takes place. That'd be dope. That'd be really cool. Let me see here. Dad Bull says 1,800 plus hours in Halo 3, doing multiple paid and winning multiple terms. Yo, 1,800 hours. I would love to go back and see how much time I had in all the games I had growing up, right? Like if I could get onto my old OG account and I could see how much time I had on those accounts, bro. Ah, man, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Halo 3 that's up there for me. That's up there for me, man. Yo. Alrighty. Deadpool says, for me, Halo on Xbox and Destiny, and this is us for PlayStation memories. Nice. Nice, man. Very nice. Halo and Destiny, incredible, right? Absolutely freaking incredible. What RJ says, what is my favorite joystick in console? I really like the Xbox. I really like the Xbox. Well, okay. I like the Xbox controller. I say this. I like the Xbox controller more than the PlayStation controller, but I like the analog sticks on the PlayStation more than the Xbox. Does that make sense? I like the joysticks, the analog sticks on the PlayStation 4 controller more, but I like the layout and the overall feel of the Xbox controller more than the PlayStation controller. Rise said, cook chicken while cranking 90s. You already know. You already know, exactly. Dad Bull says that Halo Paramount. Yeah, we don't talk about that, bro. We don't talk about that, bro. I don't know. I don't know about all that, buddy. I don't know about all that, buddy. We don't talk about that one. That one, jeez. Oh, man. It's unfortunate, man. It could have been amazing. It really could have been amazing, bro. Alrighty. Alrighty, man. Okay. Now, our sixth question is from Sydney. Sydney says, have you ever had a console die on you? If so, what did you do? So I had to really think about this. I was like, no, I've never had a console die on me. And then I was like, wait! I was like, wait a minute. Yes, I did. I never had a console die on me, but I had the power brick. I had the actual, like, power supply die on me, okay? I had an Xbox One years and years and years ago, okay? I had an Xbox One years ago, and I played that thing extensively, loved it, right? All that kind of stuff, right? But I would, so I played on the Xbox One all the time, but one day we had a really bad storm. We had a really bad storm, and I can't remember if I was playing on my Xbox or if I wasn't. I can't remember, but I remember my Xbox going out, right? Like it completely like turned off, and like it, you know, I couldn't turn it on. I literally could not turn my Xbox One on, and I was like, what happened? Oh my God, what happened? So we had a storm. It was really bad, and I found out that it fried the power brick, not the console itself. Thank God. It did not fry the console itself, but just the power brick. So I reached out to like the warranty, and I was like, hey, the power brick, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? And they were like, okay, hook it up to a surge protector and we'll send you a new one. So they sent me a new one. In the meantime, I remember being bored out of my mind because I couldn't talk to anybody, I couldn't play anything, and I just wanted so badly to be playing with my friends on Xbox One. That's what I did in the meantime. But when I got it, we actually came back from a trip. I don't remember where we went. But we came back from a trip, and I checked the mailbox, and in the mailbox was the power brick. It was the power supply, and I was like, oh my God, I got it! So we got in, we unpacked everything, I hooked it up, it worked, and then, you know, the rest is history. So yes, I never had a console die on me, but I had a power brick die on me. And in the meantime, I was bored out of my mind because I couldn't play it. But our seventh question is from Karuda. What made you start playing on console? So I'd honestly say probably my dad. Again, in the second episode, I said the reason I started gaming in general was because of my dad, because it was kind of leading by example, right? I saw my dad gaming. I saw my dad have like giant arcade machines and stuff. But I would say the reason I started, like what made me start playing on console was my dad, right? Because he gave me his PSP, he let me play on that. We would take turns on the PSP, and he would try to like beat a level, and then he would, you know, like if he wouldn't beat the level, he'd give it back to me. He'd be like, all right, you try, right? And we would like play with the PSP all the time, and then from there we got the, you know, I think after that I got my DS. I'm trying to remember if it was right after that I got my DS. I'm not entirely sure, but at some point I got a DS and I played that. I loved that. And my dad thought the DS was really cool, but then we got the Xbox 360, and you know, we've explained, you know, how many memories and how many amazing things happened from the Xbox 360. Incredible stuff, absolutely incredible stuff. But no, also what like kept me going as well, not only my dad, what also kept me going and kept me like wanting to play was also I saw, you know, I've explained this earlier as well, my cousins. My cousin had a PS2 and he had a PS3, and every time I went over to his house, we'd play on the game, and I was like, man, I got to get one of these. I never got a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3, but I did get the Xbox 360. So I would say originally my dad, right? Originally my dad, and then seeing my cousin have a console, really like just, I was like, whoa, you know, that's kind of where that came from. Great question. Thank you, Karuta. Now also Karuta has a story. Karuta has a story. Hold on. You see this. Karuta has a story to share. Okay. So Karuta's console experience. Well, during summer, back when I was in grade school, we would go visit my cousins in the city for the entire summer, and every night we would play on their OG Xbox, the original Xbox, Halo on split screen, taking turns in the campaign when they die, and 1v1 PvP amongst ourselves. He said, good old times. That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story, man. I remember never being able to like have, I remember never really being able to have games, right? Like not like play like violent games, right? I was never really able to have violent games, you know, FPS games or whatever. So when I would go over to my cousin's house, his parents didn't care, so we would play all kinds of different games, and then we'd go to his buddy up the street. We would go to his house, and he had all the Call of Duties. So like I was like, this is amazing. Like that's when I really got to start playing Call of Duty, like probably 2 or 3 years before I actually got it for myself and was able to play my own copy of Call of Duty, right? But yeah, man. Yeah, I remember those very fond times of doing split screen Call of Duty. Like, oh yeah, great times, man. Great story and great question. Thank you, Karuta. Our 8th question comes from Viking. Viking says, what game from console would you like to see on PC? I had to really think about this, man. I was thinking the game was called Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. It is not. That's another game, but that I'm pretty sure I played Shattered Dimensions. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I can't remember. I think I had a demo. I had like a demo or something, but I liked that game. I liked Shattered Dimensions, but the game I was thinking of was between Spider-Man and Miguel O'Hara. So Peter Parker and Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099. And it was called Spider-Man Edge of Time. And it was so cool because it was like, it had crazy graphics. Like it looked crazy, super futuristic. It looked dope. And you got to basically play between the split screen of like you would have split screen conversations between 2 different dimensions of Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man, and you had to basically like try to close the rift because both of the freaking dimensions were like coming together, right? And like dude, it was so cool. It was so cool because I loved Spider-Man 2099. He's my favorite adaptation of Spider-Man, but I loved playing as Spider-Man 2099. I loved playing as Spider-Man. I loved the story. I thought it was freaking incredible. And I rented it from Blockbuster. Okay, I rented it from Blockbuster, and I played it like as long as I could. Wait, because hold up. Wait a minute. No, I'm tripping. It was called GameFly. My bad. No. I rented a lot of movies. From Blockbuster. Shout out Blockbuster, man. I miss Blockbuster. It was so cool. But no, I got it from GameFly. It was basically this thing where you could like rent a game, right? You could go to GameFly, you could look at the game that you wanted, and you could rent it for X amount of days or whatever until you beat it, and then you send it back, right? GameFly was really cool. It was really freaking cool. And I got Spider-Man Edge of Time on my Xbox 360, and I played it extensively. I loved it so much. I loved the story, and I had like, I was like, I'm gonna need more time, bro. I was like, this boss is so hard to fight. Like, you had to fight Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom was awesome. You had to fight Dr. Octopus. I believe you had to fight Vulture as well. And then at the end of it, Dr. Octopus and Anti-Venom like fused into one, and it was like this creepy, gross, long, giant tongue venom with like ooze, and like Dr. Octopus's like goggles, and he had the metal arms. It was creepy. He was like this giant like symbiote blob thing with Dr. Octopus arms, and he was hard to fight. He was really hard to fight. But Spider-Man Edge of Time. Now, to my knowledge, this is not already on PC. And if it was, I think I looked up Shattered Dimensions. I might have looked up Edge of Time. One of the two was on PC, but they took it off because there was some like major thing going on with Spider-Man and the rights to Spider-Man. That's the whole thing between like Marvel and like Sony and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure that was... You could get it. You could get the game as like an emulator or something, or it was on Steam. It was on Steam. Now I think you might be able to get it as an emulator. I'm not entirely sure, but Spider-Man Edge of Time, I played on console and I loved it so much, and I wanted to get it on PC, but as far as I know, you can't get it on PC. So if there was a game from console that I wanted to play so badly that I wanted to bring to PC, if I could, I would say Spider-Man Edge of Time. Great question. Great question. Thank you, my man. Our 9th question is from Car Guy. And I'm going to catch up on the rest of these questions as well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Said, taking off. My man, be safe. Be safe, Mr. Viking. I love you, sir. Be safe, man. Safe travels. Get home safely. Our 9th question is from Car Guy. And Car Guy says, what console do you wish you had? And what console do you have that you wish you never got? So, this is another question I had to really think about. I was like, what console do I wish I had? Well, I never had my own console, right? I never had my own console for a really long time. So whenever I went over to my cousin's house and he had the PS2 and the PS3, I was always like, man, I want to get this at home, right? So I wished at the time that I had my own PS2 or PS3 because I always got to play it at my cousin's house, but I didn't have it at home. But thank you, Viking. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. But I kind of wanted that because I didn't have my own, right? But then, like when my cousins got a 3DS, I really wanted to get one, and I didn't get one for a while, but I got a DS. So I really wanted to get a 3DS, but I got a DS later on, and I can't say... So, a console I technically wish I had was, just a console at the time, because I remember going, X amount of time without having a console at home, and I really wanted to have one. It didn't matter which one it was. If it was a PS2 or PS3 or Xbox, I wanted one, and I didn't have it at the time. So I would say that was kind of like the console I wanted, right, at the time. But a console that I have or had that I didn't want, I would maybe say the DS. I would maybe say the DS because I really wanted a 3DS and I wasn't able to get a 3DS. But then I came to love the DS. I came to love my DS, and I had so many great memories playing my DS. And then when I got my Xbox 360, that catapulted my entire gaming everything, right? And then the Xbox One and the PlayStation. So I'm actually really happy with the consoles that I have. If I were to say there was a console that I wanted that I didn't have and a console that I had that I didn't want, it was really in a very short, very younger years of like playing games, because my cousins kind of got a lot of stuff handed to them, and I wanted that too, but I didn't get that. And I was like, well, I want that. But then it taught me to work for stuff, and it taught me to be appreciative for what I had. So, yeah. Great question. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. All right. All right. Now, let me see here. RJ says, streamer need good communication skill or gameplay skill? I'd say both. I'd say both. Having game sense and knowing how the game works, how to utilize the different functions in whatever game you're playing, and also being able to communicate with your team or communicate with your community as you're streaming, right? Communication is key and gameplay is key, right? But also remember to have fun. That's the most important thing. As long as you're having fun, that's the most important thing. Sydney says, my family's PS3 died on us the first year. Really? I know the Xbox, like the red ring of death. That was like, everybody said, ooh, you better be careful, you're gonna get the red ring of death. Like, so I was like haunted by that when I was younger. But yo, your PS3 died in the first year? It was the first model released, and it was a problem with all PS3s overheating. That kind of sounds like a trend PlayStation's got. That kind of seems like that's been happening. Overheating, that they had to remake the PS3. Interesting. Which boss in the game was the hardest for you, says Rise? Oh God, there's so many. I would need some time to think about that one. Which was the hardest boss? Oh boy. Which was the hardest boss? Oh, yo. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is probably Edge of Time. Probably Spider-Man Edge of Time, where, you know, Anti-Venom fused with Dr. Octopus, and then you had to fight him. I'd probably say that, because, I mean, from what I'm remembering, that was a really hard fight. It just off the top of my head, that was a really hard fight. Now, we're going to rattle off a couple questions that we have here from Eternal, okay? Eternal's got a couple questions. Eternal's got a couple questions. We're going to rattle these off, man. Alrighty? We're going to rattle off a couple questions here. Let me see here. Where's it at? Okay, here we go. So Eternal's got a couple questions here. We got number one, comparing PC and console gaming, what are the pros you see for console gaming over a high-end PC? Well, the first thing I would say is a console is reliable, right? You get for the most part, a console, you get a console, you can, like, if you have digital or if you have the, you know, hard copy, right? You have like the tray where you can put in your discs, right? Either way, a console for me growing up was always reliable, right? Like if I turned on the console, it turned on. If I popped in the game, like, it turned on. You know, I was able to play the game. I was able to, you know, turn on the console. There was no updates. There was no server maintenance. There was no, like, none of that. So there was no, like, capped FPS. There was none of that, right? There was no, like, you're gonna have a server crash or, like, no, it was lag. That's what the worry was growing up, man. It was once you had Xbox Live, were you gonna have good enough connection that you wouldn't lag? Like, that's what the worry was. But no, I would say comparing PC to console, the pro of having a console over a high-end PC is the fact that a console is reliable, right? If you have a technical, like, PC that is the equivalent of a console, that thing ain't even gonna run, right? Like, technically, if you have, like, the same specs of a you know, like a PS4 in your PC, that thing's probably not even gonna run, right? Like, yeah, you know, like, you're barely gonna be able to play games on that thing, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, what? That's crazy. It's like, you gotta have some of the most high-end stuff to, like, play games and not have your computer overheat or crash or whatever. But if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, you throw on the game, you're good for days. You're chilling, you're vibing, right? I would say getting a console is reliable. The pro is that it's reliable. You can turn it on and you're chilling. You don't got to really worry about anything, right? I personally prefer PC now that I'm on PC, but I would say it's tough. because I've had to put a couple $1,000s into this PC because it didn't work, or it needed new fans, or it needed that, you know, this, that, or the third, whatever, this broke, or this, whatever. Never had that with a console. You buy a console, you plug it in, you're good for 5 years, right? Like, for the most part, I would say a console is reliable, right? But I prefer PC now. Now, Eternal says, what do you miss about old generation console gaming versus new gen? Fact that the good old times are, you know, you can only experience it one time. The fact that you can only have that first time experience at one time, all those years you were like a, you know, preteen, like, you know, whatever, middle school, high school, whatever, and you were gaming with your homies, and it was just the most pure, amazing time, right? In that moment. You can go back now and you can play that now, but it's not the same. It's not the same. What I miss from old gen versus new gen is the fact that we have the memories, but we can never get back that first experience, right? You can get the boys back on and you can act like nothing changed, but you'll never be able to experience it for the very first time again. So that's what I miss. I miss the old times, right? I miss like being able to like be in the moment and have it happen right there, and you're experiencing it for the first time. That's what I miss. But I will say, if we get the boys on, all of us on Xbox Series X or S or something like that, and we all go back and we play the all Call of Duties, it's gonna be like nothing changed, right? We're not gonna be able to experience it for the first time, but it's gonna be like nothing changed, bro. And I am down with that. I'm down with that, bro. All right. Then, Eternal says, do you feel that based on games with cross-console matchmaking, that Switch and Steam Deck players should be in the same lobbies competing against PC and PS players, PlayStation players? I don't know, honestly. I don't know, because I've seen like the overall, like, you know, PC stronger than console, but then I've also seen console stronger than PC. I've seen like, you know, oh, this person's, you know, they have aim assist, and, you know, like a lot of people say like it's not fair for console to be with PC because console gets aim assist. But then again, it's not fair for PC to be with console because we have a mouse and we're able to use our entire arm, right? I don't know. It's been a big talking point for years now, right? Like, if there is, you know, cross compatibility, right? If, you know, if it's like basically fair. I don't know, man. I think it varies, right? I think it varies. But in this specific case, you said a Switch and a Steam Deck. I mean, I've seen some pretty cracked players on Switch and I think Steam Deck. I think so as well. I've seen some pretty cracked players. So I mean, like, I don't know. Like, overall, maybe not. But then again, like, there's the exception, you know, because you have some really crazy players on those platforms that be whooping PC players. So, you know what I mean? Like, you got some crazy players on those consoles that can go crazy, right? But then also, like, the overall, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe not. Maybe. It depends. I think it depends. Let me see here. So then Eternal says, what are your thoughts on scalpers making a business out of the recent newer gen consoles, diminishing the availability of devices that are supposed to be purely recreational and forcing the market price to skyrocket? Well, first thing I'm going to say is I don't like it. The reason for that is I know a lot of friends and a lot of people that wanted so badly to get an Xbox, the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, and they couldn't because people, like, for so long they were like, on this day, 2020, this day, or, you know, whatever, right? it's gonna, you know, the new PlayStation is gonna come out, or the new Xbox is gonna come out after like year and year after delay. This is finally the time that it's coming out, and then you can't get one, right? Like the shelves are completely cleared off. People are buying, you know, 5 and 10 of them, right? And then, you know, or like the entire back room, they got, you know, a shipment of like 500 PS5s, and all of them are gone in a day because people went and they bought, you know, 10 or 20 of them or something like that. You know what I mean? Right? I think it's tough. I think it's tough, man. I personally didn't deal with the console side of that because by the time that came out, I've already been on PC for a long time, right? But I dealt with the massive scalping issue for PC parts. I had a PC, like, again, this is why I say consoles are reliable, because my PC, when I got it, this thing almost exploded 7 times, and I had to get a new CPU when I got it. I had to get a new motherboard when I got it, a new case when I got it. I had to get a new fan when I got it. That fan wasn't strong enough. I had to get a new fan when I got it. I had to change out this and change out this and update this and get this and get this and get this and get, and I couldn't because of the scalpers, right? So it sucked because this literally went on for like 2 years, if not 2.5 years. This literally went on up until literally maybe like 10 months ago. It finally stopped, right? Like, this was so long that this happened over and over and over again. Oh, something's in stock and it's gone, right? Or something's in stock, and because of, you know, the demand, it's $300 more than it should be, right? $300 more than MSRP. Or if you don't go for that, if you don't get something on Amazon or something like that, you got to go the scalping route. You got to go to eBay and see that a PS5 is $2,700, right? It was tough. It was really tough. I know friends that weren't able to get consoles that they wanted when they wanted them because of the scalping. And for me personally, with PCs, I was not able to get the parts that I needed because of the scalping. So personally, I don't like scalping. I don't like it, but I will say that I know people can have a side hustle. They can have a business out of that. And I think that's great. And I think that's awesome. And I support that. I want there to be a way, though, that they can live here and have their business booming, but also make it so that every single console and every single piece for a PC is not ripped off the shelf and then sold for 5 times the price. If we could have both, that'd be awesome. Because I know people can make a business out of this and they can survive off of that. And I want that. That's good. But also, I want everybody else to be able to enjoy the consoles and the games and have fun without having to wait 5 years to get a console. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't get it because scalpers were buying it and selling it for 5 times the price, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's right. So scalping is one thing. They were price gouging. That's 100% what it was. Yes. That's right. Exactly. It's like, if you're going to buy all of them, right? Don't jack the price up to, you know, if something is $100, don't jack the price up to $500 because you can't get it. You know what I mean? Right? Like, that's what people were doing with the Chaos Trap. I explained that in the second episode of the podcast. There was, in Skylanders Trap Team, there was a Chaos Trap that allowed you to trap the final boss, right? And people would come in and they'd buy 20, 30 of these. They would clear off the entire shelf. And then kids like me, when I was younger, I wasn't able to get one, right? And then you would go on eBay and you would see that a $7 Chaos Trap was $250 on eBay, right? Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Scalping in itself, right? If you're going to, scalp devices or whatever and then make a business out of that, that's fine, right? Like I said, that's perfectly fine. If you make a business out of that, that's cool. I want you to make your food. You know what I mean? I want you to be able to, put food on the table. That's great. Just don't jack the price up 5 times, 5 times the normal price, right? Like, if everybody could get a console and then this business could also work, right? Where things were like, I understand you got to change the price a little bit, right? But don't make a $400 console $2,000. That's not cool. That's not cool. That's kind of my thoughts on that. Eternal says, because on one hand, the only thing that would even the playing field for controller sets is aim assist. But then again, you got PC. Yeah, exactly. You got PC players. You got PC players that are complaining about aim assist. And it's like, bro, come on. Like, stop complaining. You have a $7,000 computer. You have a freaking most crazy mouse ever. You get to whip and use your whole mouse and arm around to whip these shots, right? And you're complaining about somebody that's playing on a $30 controller. Stop. Come on, stop complaining. It's like really, like here's my thought process. If I die by somebody on console, they're better than me, okay? Because I have every advantage. I have every single advantage. I can move faster. I can aim faster. You know what I mean? If I die to a console player, they're better than me, okay? And I fully admit that. If I die to a console player, they're better than me. They're literally better than me. They had better game sense. They were positioned better in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna, like, there was a time when I got mad at aim assist, but I was also around the wrong people. I was also around the wrong people, and all I ever heard constantly barking was aim assist, aim assist, aim assist, aim assist, right? So I was just like, oh yeah, aim assist is bad, whatever, right? There was a time that I acted like that, but I snapped out of that, and I was like, dog, if I die to a console player, they're clearly just better than me. You know what I mean? And it's not because aim assist. Stop. Come on, bro. Like, I can turn off shadows. I can change every single one of my graphics. I can see them better. I can run faster. I can do everything. And if I still die, that's on me. They're better. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I think. That's kind of what I think, man. There's no reason for, like, to be mad at that. You know what I mean? Like, let the console players have fun, bro. We all started on console. We all started on console, man. It's crazy too, because, like, you never heard about none of this, bro. You never heard about none of this until crossplay came out. You never heard about none of this, dude. There was no, like, it was PlayStation versus Xbox, and then it was console versus PC, and now it's like, bro, just relax. Just let console players live. They're just trying to game and have fun. Let PC players live. They're just trying to have fun and game. You know what I mean? Just let everybody be cool and be in the game. And if you die to a console player, if you die to a PC player, cool, ready up, play again. You know, there shouldn't be any issue. That's kind of where I'm at. Alrighty, man. But that is all the questions we got for today, man. If there are any other questions, please leave them in the Q&A section of the Spotify comment section, or if you're watching this once it is a VOD, leave it in the comment section of the YouTube VOD, or if you guys have any more questions in the live chat, man. My mic's cutting in and out. Oh, what? Oh, what? Are we good? Oh, snap. I apologize about that. Hopefully we're good. But if there are any other questions as well, leave them in the live chat. And then, yeah, man. But yo, thank you guys. Thank you guys very, very much for all of the wonderful questions. If there are any more questions, please, again, you know, leave them in the Q&A section on Spotify, or the VOD section, right, in the comment section on the VOD, or anything like that. Thank you for the wonderful questions, and thank you for the wonderful stories. Today was incredible. Incredible day, incredible episode. Thank you guys very much for being a part of episode 3 of the podcast. A wonderful experience. A wonderful experience. I thank you guys very much for the stories. I thank you guys very much for the likes. Again, if you haven't already done so, please drop a like on the podcast for YouTube, or leave a heart on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. Thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the wonderful stories. I appreciate you so much, Wolfpack. I appreciate you. I hope you all have an incredible weekend as well. Please stay safe, be easy. And again, to everybody that was watching this live, Sydney, Rise, Nikki, Eternal, Viking, JR, or RJ, my apologies. My apologies. RJ, Dad Bull, Mama Wolf, Richard Torres, also Spaceballs, Car Guy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chilling and vibing. We will be live over on Kick if you guys want to check that out, man. Again, linked in the description down below. Live 3 days a week, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. We will be picking up Fridays as well, okay? So we're going to be live 4 days a week now. If you guys want to check those out, we're going to be doing half streams on Kick after the podcast. If you guys want to check that out, in the description down below, or kick.com/Oborrok. I love you so much, and I appreciate you. Thank you for everything, and I hope you guys have a great freaking weekend. Thank you so much, Wolfpack. Have a good one. Be safe, be easy, take care, and I love you. Deuces.